To get to the Layers menu, you need to go into a job. Click this button at the bottom of the screen to open the Layers menu. Now you can see all of your layers in this job. Some of them are turned on and some are turned off. This column indicates whether layers are turned on or turned off. If the icon looks like this, an eye, then it's turned on. If the icon looks like this, an eye with a line through it, then it's turned off. To turn a layer on or off, you press that button. I'm going to turn on points, concrete walls. Over here is a preview of the layers that are turned on. I can turn all of these layers on by doing this. Okay, let me go to a different project. Now that last project we were on just had one background drawing, but this one has 3 background drawings. You can see this is level 0 background drawing, this is level 1 background drawing, and level 2 background drawing. I'm going to hit back. I'm going to go into the job, and I'm going to go to the layers. Each background drawing has a folder with all the layers in it. So level 0 is the name of the background drawing, and it has these layers within it. The next background drawing we'll see is level 1. It has these layers in it. And the other background drawing is level 2 with these layers. So let's talk about this button. This button hides this background drawing. So level 0 background drawing is now hidden. Now level 1 background drawing is hidden, and all I am seeing over here is the level 2 background drawing. Now let's say if I want a few of these layers turned off and some of them turned on. If I hide level 2 and turn it back on, it does not turn on all the layers, it just goes back to how you had it before. So let's turn all these back on, and we'll talk about this next button. Let me turn these layers on. Alright, I'm turning this background drawing on as well. Okay, so now all the background drawings are turned on, all the layers within those background drawings are also turned on. This button is the Isolate button. It will isolate the layer that you select. Now it only works for background drawings. It doesn't work for any layers you've added yourself. So if I want to isolate lines, 0 footings, I'll click the Isolate button. And now I'll see that layer and that layer only. Just keep in mind, if you had this layer's visibility turned off, then it's still not going to show it. You would just have to turn it on. If you wanted to isolate another layer, you could isolate that one. You can only isolate one layer at a time, and if you click it again, it will go back to how you had it before. Layer 0 is the default layer. All jobs start with a layer 0, and anything you add typically will start in the layer 0 if it's unassigned. To add a layer, press this button. Choose a name and a color, and click Add Layer. And there's the layer down at the bottom. Currently, there's no way to edit the name of this layer, and there's also no way to delete a layer. The whole idea of layers is to be able to turn on what you want to see and turn off what you don't want to see. For example, if I'm laying out footings, I just want to see footings. But then after I lay out footings, and let's say we've poured the footings, and now I need to lay out walls on top of the footings, then I only want to see the walls. Layers gives you the ability to do this if you organize your drawing this way. I organize our drawings into layers based on building components. And we have 2 sets of layers. We have layers that are called lines, and that is the background drawing divided up into these layers. Then we have layers called points, and all of the points are assigned to their appropriate layer. Now, all of the point layers have a corresponding line layer. For example, we've got points bolts and lines bolts, or we have lines footings and points footings. So let's say we're starting this job off and I want to lay out footings. I'm going to turn off all of these layers except for the footing points and the footing lines. So as you can see, footing points is on. And then now we're turning the lines layers off. And we'll just leave lines footings on. There's lines footings. Now we'll hit back. And this is nice and clean, and you can be focused on laying out footings. So that's layers.